So when you first see a song title, like First Day Out the Hospital, you probably think of something, maybe reflective.
Yeah, relief, gratitude, maybe. That kind of vibe.
Exactly. Sets up a certain expectation. Well, today we're doing a deep dive into Dave Blunt's track with that title.
And it really doesn't quite meet that expectation, does it?
Not at all. It takes that idea and twists it into something way more complex. And honestly, pretty surprising. It's not just about recovery.
Definitely not. And for this deep dive, we're looking at a couple of things. The official YouTube music video transcript gives us the raw words.
Right.
And also the Genius lyrics page, which is great. The annotations, the background info, all that context.
Yeah, Genius is invaluable for this stuff.
So our mission here is really to unpack all the layers, the stated purpose, yeah, but also the really controversial lyrics, and just the whole story behind how it was made and received. We want to find those key nuggets that make this track more than just another song.
Okay, so let's get into it. The core idea, at least how it starts, is definitely about that release.
Right.
Dave Blunt's celebrating getting out of the hospital. It mentions multiple health checks.
And he even calls it his first day out the grave.
Which is, wow, that really hits hard. It suggests something really serious, potentially life-threatening he just got through.
It's a very powerful image, yeah, survival.
But what's so interesting is how fast it pivots.
Yeah.
You have this intense personal relief.
This moment of coming back from the edge.
And then, bam, the tone just shifts completely.
Right, and the chorus really drives home that initial contrast, doesn't it? He keeps repeating those lines.
Like I was hooked up to oxygen when I sat down on that stage.
Yeah, and then right after, it's my first day out the hospital and my first day out the grave. It's such a strong opening. A declaration.
A triumph, almost.
Exactly. But it's right then, in that moment of triumph, that he decides to, turn it around.
Turn that freedom into a weapon, basically. Yeah. Aimed at other people.
Precisely. And that's where this track takes a really sharp turn.
Yeah, because a huge chunk of the song, despite the title, is just straight up aggressive dissing.
It's quite the leap. From a hospital bed to the battleground.
So what's going on there? Is it just shock value or something more strategic about using that controversy?
That's a great point, because it doesn't feel random. It feels calculated. The first big target is another rapper, Kankan.
Okay.
And, we need to be clear here. The lyrics get extremely explicit. They use offensive language, targeting people directly.
Right. We're just reporting what's in the source material to understand the track, not endorsing the language at all.
Absolutely. So quoting directly from the lyrics, Dave Blunt says, "And Kankan talking shit, but I heard he like ladyboys."
Wow. Okay.
And it escalates. King can fuck with transgenders. He might be a bae nigga. He might be the type to find out she's a man and stay with her.
It's incredibly direct. And that move from personal vulnerability straight into this kind of attack, it's definitely a choice in today's, celebrity culture.
It is. Where viral moments, even combative ones, can really shape an artist's image. It feels like part of that landscape.
And the craziest part, maybe, is that he seems to know how it'll land. He anticipates the backlash.
He does. There's that line, and when they hear this song, they're going to say, "I'm homophobic."
Right. And then he follows it with, "But Kankan fuck with ladyboys. I just think he should own it."
It's fascinating. He's trying to control the narrative before it even starts, almost daring people to react exactly how he predicts.
Yeah, it's like he's trying to frame the criticism itself as part of the diss. Very provocative.
It really is. A complex, maybe cynical way to handle audience perception. And then he moves on. There's another target.
Isabel,
yeah.
So a different kind of accusation here, but still pretty harsh.
Just as scathing, really. He says, "Don't give a fuck about Isabel, because she only want me for the fame."
Okay, so it's about clout chasing.
That's the accusation. He elaborates, singing, "She ended up fucking me over. She ended up chasing the clout. She want me to book her a flight, get some top, and I'm kicking her out."
That theme, artists dealing with relationships and feeling used because of fame, that's not totally new.
No, it's a pretty common trope in music, especially hip-hop.
But the way he does it here,
Yeah.
right after talking about a health crisis, it gives it this really raw, almost visceral edge.
Absolutely. It feels less like just complaining about clout chasing and maybe more like this deeper, angrier release.
So beyond the dissing, there are other lyrics that add to the picture, right?
Yeah.
It's not just about Kankan and Isabel.
No, definitely not. He also touches on substance use pretty openly.
Like what?
Lines like, "Sipping codeine is fun to me. Popping these beans is fun to me." It adds to this defiant, maybe hedonistic persona he's building.
Okay. And what about critics?
Oh yeah, there's a line for them too. Niggas talking shit in the comments, but they broke and unemployed.
So just dismissing anyone who disagrees.
Pretty much. It gives you a clear idea of how he views or wants to portray himself as viewing any negativity. Rejecting judgment.
And you mentioned it's explicit overall.
Very. There are other lines, too, graphic sexual lines, that are part of that raw, uncensored feel. It's consistent throughout. And the beat itself.
Yeah.
It's this minimal, kind of stark trap beat. Almost clinical. It makes the lyrics hit even harder, you know? There's no hiding them.
Right. Okay, so let's shift gears a bit. What about the production side? How did this song actually come together?
Okay, so the credits list, Chef Made, Quad Woofer, and Filthy Jeans as producers.
Got it.
And the writers are Dave Bluntz, Quad Woofer, and Chef Made.
Yeah.
Mixing and mastering was Tajik Clark. And the video director, Shot Mine Easy.
And the label.
Listen to the kids.
Okay. And the release itself, you mentioned Genius had details. It sounds like there's a whole build-up.
Oh, yeah, very deliberate. It started way back December 17th, 2024, with an Instagram Reel snippet.
Teasing it early.
Then a TikTok live preview a few days later, December 20th. Then things went quiet for a bit.
Strategic pause.
Seems like it. Then another Instagram video, February 17th, 2025, hinting it was coming soon.
Building anticipation.
Exactly. And finally, February 24th, an Instagram photo confirmed the date. February 28th, 2025, that's when they revealed the cover art too.
So a multi-stage rollout. Generate buzz, keep people engaged. Makes sense.
Definitely a common strategy now.
And this track, First Day Out the Hospital, it's track 3 on his 2025 album. The album's called You Can't Say That.
That's the one.
And just looking at some of the other track titles on there, Solar's Departure, Isabella's Untimely Deportation, whoa, Sex Crimes, Tired of Being a Simp.
Yeah.
I mean, those titles alone, plus the album name. It tells you something, doesn't it?
It absolutely does. It signals loud and clear this is an artist pushing boundaries, being intentionally provocative.
Yeah, you can't say that. It's like a mission statement.
Right. Tackling taboo stuff, maybe presenting these really specific, dramatic narratives. It paints a picture of his whole artistic identity or the one he wants to project.
And how is this specific song categorized, genre-wise?
Well, on Genius, it's got a ton of tags. Rap, diss track, low and jerk, trap. But also comedy, satire, chill hop, cloud rap, underground rap, hip hop.
Wow, that's a real mix.
It is, and it shows how it's perceived in different ways. Is it serious? Is it satire? Is it just raw expression? It kind of defies being put in one single box.
Which might be the point.
Could very well be. It suggests it can provoke or maybe even appeal to listeners across a bunch of different scenes.
So wrapping this up, we've definitely seen that First Day Out the Hospital is, well, it's a lot. Mm-hmm. It takes this really personal, vulnerable moment getting out of the hospital and just flips it. Uses it as a launch pad for some complex, definitely controversial public feuds and statements.
It's far from your typical song about recovery, that's for sure.
Not even close.
So, thinking about all this, the intensity, the personal stuff mixed with the public attacks, what does a track like this tell us about, music and celebrity culture right now?
That's a good question.
Like, how do artists walk that line between being vulnerable and being confrontational, especially when they seem to know they're going to get backlash for the really controversial things they say?
Yeah, like anticipating the homophobic comments.
Exactly. And maybe what responsibility, if any, do artists even have? When they put lyrics this explicit, this provocative out into the world, how does that shape things?
Definitely a lot to chew on there.
Yeah. It's something for you, the listener, to maybe mull over in your own deep dive. Where does that line sit for you?